turned out quite.
Nico Hulkenberg explained his side of the clash that wiped out both McLaren drivers at the start of the United States Grand Prix sprint race. Subscribe F1 Threat for more information. Formula One news every day. Title rivals Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri were taken out at Turn 1 on the first lap of Saturday's sprint after Sauber's Hulkenberg hit Piastri and, inadvertently, pitched him into his McLaren teammate. Both Norris and Piastri suffered terminal damage to their McLarens and were forced to retire. In the immediate aftermath of the multi-car accident, McLaren boss Zak Brown pinned the blame on Hulkenberg and accused the German veteran of amateur hour driving. "That was terrible," Brown told Sky Sports F1. "Neither of our drivers to blame there. Some amateur hour driving, some drivers up there at the front whacked our two guys. I want to see the replay again, but clearly Nico drove into Oscar, and he had no business being where he was." However, after reviewing the footage, Brown later backtracked on his initial stance. "I've reviewed it. I think I've changed my view. I can't really put that on Nico," Brown admitted to Sky Sports F1. "In the heat of the moment, obviously pretty bothered what I saw there. A lot of incidents in Turn 1. But I don't think that's on Nico." Hulkenberg insisted he had nowhere to go as he ended up stuck between Piastri's McLaren and Aston Martin's Fernando Alonso, who had made a move up the inside. "I didn't have anywhere to go," Hulkenberg stressed. "We were all obviously racing. Fernando Alonso was kind of taking the inside, but I knew he was diving in, but I didn't know where he was exactly. He was in a blind spot at that moment, so I wanted to leave some space for him. And then Oscar turned in very suddenly and aggressively. I wanted to cut back for the exit, but obviously I was there. Unfortunate for all of us." When he was informed that Brown had retracted his criticism, Hulkenberg replied, "Good, so we're all in agreement then. Still frustrating and disappointing because the car was strong, and if we had kept it there, we would have scored points. I'm pretty confident and sure about that, but yeah, would have, could have, should have." On the other side, Ferrari's significant performance swing at the United States Grand Prix has left both Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc scratching their heads. After struggling to 8th and 10th in sprint qualifying on Friday, Ferrari enjoyed a much better regular qualifying, with Leclerc taking 3rd and Hamilton putting his SF25 5th on the grid. Ferrari were much more competitive on Saturday in Austin, but neither Hamilton or Leclerc could explain the reason behind the dramatic swing. "I was struggling with the balance from the get-go. I had massive understeer," 7-time world champion Hamilton said. "So I came in, I put 2 holes of wing in, went out, came in, put 2 holes of wing in, just kept adding and adding. I think I added like 8 holes of front wing today. With that understeer, it made it really difficult and saturated the fronts. The last lap was closer to the balance I was looking for, but still, if I took that right back to Q1, that's the car I needed earlier on to then build on. But overall, an improvement for us as a team. Great job by everyone in the garage and the engineers. We made a step forward today. It's great to be up and amongst the top 5. I would have loved to be higher, but I'll push tomorrow." Leclerc admitted it was a big surprise for him to be in the top 3 and just 0.006 seconds adrift of 2nd on the grid. "It was quite a big surprise, especially considering the weekend has been very difficult for us since the beginning," the Monegasque explained. "We tried to put everything together in qualifying. We managed to do so, but I think there are still things we need to understand with this car because there is a bit too much of a swing of performance in the weekend without fundamentally changing the car. But it's been an interesting sprint race this morning. I think we learnt a lot. We applied that in qualifying and it seems to be working, so I hope that from now on we kind of catch back a little bit. Our car is normally stronger in the race than it is in qualifying, so that's a positive. I don't know if it's strong enough to go and fight with Max and the McLaren, but we'll do everything." Asked what had changed with his Ferrari, Leclerc replied, "We've changed a few things, but it's not like there's been something that we've done a massive change with. It was all about fine-tuning. There's something more specific that I've changed on my side, which I think went towards my driving style a little bit, and maybe that helped. But a swing of performance like from yesterday to today is still to be understood, to be completely honest. There was more wind. We know that with our car, this is normally a strong point, which probably helped today. But again, it's a big swing of performance, so we still need to understand. What do you think? Write your opinion in the comments below.